Bless Jai Alai, ladies and gentlemen. Nasty Nate back on the scene. Can you feel it? Season 6. It's here. Draft day, ladies and gentlemen. Draft day. Let's go, Clone Cartel. You ready to ride? I don't know. Honestly, you guys, we had Mike Ryan on. Last week, he was kind of mean to us. I wish I would have said, Mike, this is God Bless Jai Alai. It's not Cyclones mic'd up. It's not Clone Cartel mic'd up. You give us access, but we're not, you know, I don't get anything out of this other than a joy for the game and growing the game. And I've been I've been the biggest supporter of Clone Cartel. And Mike Ryan took a blowtorch to this podcast last week, was rude to my co-host Brian. And we've got some things to ponder. Should God Bless Jai Alai raise up all of Battle Court? Or should we continue being our steadfast supporters of just Clone Cartel? Or should we open the door to more of what Battle Court has to offer? I mean, Clone Cartel, you look at what's happened recently. They let go of my favorite player, Manny. I'll never forget when Manny came back being down 5-0 when I went to the Fronton in person that first season. Cyclones swept their opponent. I think it was the Warriors, if I'm remembering correctly. We swept them, won all the matches, and Manny came back down 5-0. And he's gone, and we don't know if he'll ever be back because he's locked down by the Wall Warriors. The Warriors. Things to ponder on Season 6. My heart's still there with Clone Cartel, but I don't know, folks. Mike was mean. Things might need to change. I don't know. But let's break down the draft, ladies and gentlemen, and let's go team by team. Draft pick number 1. There might be a couple things that I'm going to tell you to be on the alert for, right?
Put this town on alert.
You always got to be putting things on alert. I might tell you should pay attention here.
I think attention should be paid. Put this town on alert.
Right? There's a difference between those two things, right? Alert and attention. We're gonna break that down for you when we're talking draft there. So, team 1, Fireballs. They locked down Iñaki, their Division 1 player, and Cabrera, their Division 5 player. So they're looking for their 2, 3, 4, and 6 players there. One thing that's interesting, Devils did not lock down Oleron, and I can't remember. I know 2 players left. One of them, I think, is Hernandez, retired. I'm pretty certain. And I don't know if Oleron left because he was a Division 1 player. So, and I don't know if it's possible. Iñaki's Division 1. They have the number 1 pick. Can they go Oleron and shift one of those 2 around? Because Iñaki is a number 1, but we expanded the league, and he's maybe more of a high Division 2 player and a low Division 1 because his win percentage in Division 1 was tough, and those Division 1 players play a lot. I think he had a 20% win percentage in his singles matches, which is not great. And now they have switched the focus more to doubles, but your Division 1 player plays the most singles. It's like 8 to 10 matches every season. So that's something when we're talking Fireballs that you want to be on alert for.
Put this town on alert.
Right? So what's going to happen there? And traditionally, the team that has the first round draft pick in the very first pick of every round, they get a big time bump. Warriors had that last season. They won the championship. We've had it one time, and we went from out of the playoffs to back in the championship, but unable to close the deal. So there traditionally is a bump. So one thing's for certain, this will not be the same Fireball team. They're going to look pretty different players, but I think it's going to be the same result. I think with the expansion, a lot of your talented players are just locked down, and that first-round pick I don't think comes with as big of a bump anymore. Fireballs improve, but if I had to, I'm going to say fifth. But who knows? Maybe after we evaluate draft, hand out our draft grades, we'll change our mind on that. So next up, team with the number 2 pick. It's the Cyclones. Clone Cartel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to say we, but actually, you know what? I'm not going to refer to them as me being a part of them this one. I'm going to distance myself a little bit because I'm hurting. They locked down Manu and Bueno, which I said I like their choices there, that they did that. Every team could lock down 3 players. Warriors can lock down 4 because they won the championship. We almost did. They locked down 2 players, which to me signals they're going to change up the team. Because last season, you look at it, you can't describe the Cyclone season any other way than a just dismal failure. They had number 2 in odds to win the championship, and you finished second to last. You didn't even make the playoffs in a league where 66% of the teams make the playoffs. So dismal failure. Lopez did not pan out as the player that we thought he was, that they thought he was going to be. This is going to be a challenge for me here. Carballo struggled. He's actually out this season recovering, so wish him a good recovery. He's going to be working with the Cyclones, which I think can be a good thing because other teams have GMs that help players improve. I remember watching Warriors play and them talking about their GM and how they worked with Correa, and Correa made huge improvements. One of the big reasons they came away with a championship is the improvement of Correa, whose last season was one of the best Division 5 players, 4-1 record, and was a much more consistent and reliable doubles partner. And now we know we have Carballo. We know they have Carballo helping out. So what will that add for player development for the Cyclones? We'll see. But one thing is for certain. This isn't going to be your daddy's Cyclones. They're going to change it up. And here's something where I think
This thing is going to blow.
Oop, wrong sounder. Not this thing is going to blow.
I think attention should be paid.
I think attention should be paid here. Cyclones, they're going to change it up. Traditionally, they have been a backcourt team. Rumblings to me are that they're going to push to become a more balanced front court and backcourt team. And that they're going to go possibly in the Division 2 with a front quarter. We'll see who that is. I know Ferranda's up there as a front quarter. I'm not sure who else. Because, again, some players can change and go up and down in the divisions. I don't have a big board here. So I went through World Highlight League and found all the players that I could in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not going to stay up crazy late, although it's almost midnight here where I am. But I found most of the players. Lopez is a 2. I don't know if he's returning or not. I think he is, but we're not taking him. Ferranda is a 2. There's the question of Oleron. Don't know what's happening there. I would say I don't think he's returning because Devils, spoiler alert, they're the only team that didn't lock down their number 1 player, and that was Oleron. So I'm thinking if you have a number 1, you'd lock him down. But that means either he's coming back or there's a new player who's going to be a Division 1 player, and Oleron has been shifted back to a Division 2 player. So that's something where you're definitely, I think attention should be paid what's happening in the Division 2s for players, because Division 2 teams that can go Division 2 that haven't locked down a Division 2 player: Fireballs, Cyclones, and I think everybody else actually has locked down their Division 2 player. Actually, yes, everyone else has locked down their Division 2 player. But some changes can be made there. So this isn't going to be your Cyclones team. They're going to change it up big time, and I think it is going to get them back into the playoffs. Next up, it's either the Chargers or the Devil. I don't remember with 100% certainty. I'm going to say it's the Chargers. They locked down Jairo, Urbieta, and CRB. That's their Division 2, Division 3, and Division 6. I think it's interesting they locked down a Division 6 player, but maybe they're seeing CRB as the best of that, which maybe that gives you an advantage there, but I don't know. Those Division 6 players feel like you can move them around, but there are some that are more solid than others. Here's the question, though, for me, for the Devils, right? And that is, they came into the league, they started out, made a push for the playoffs, faded, though, did not make it their first season. It looked like they were going to do it, but they faded and fell apart into the season, didn't make it. Next season, made it to the playoffs, lost to Cesta Cyclones then, now Cyclones. Season 5, made it to the playoffs, lost in the playoffs. Think Renegades bounced them out. And I think both their playoff losses haven't been particularly close. They locked down Hyro and Urbieta. They've been a solid pairing. They've been solid as players too. They put up great numbers. The question is, can Hyro and Urbieta as a pairing, can they take the next step to become not just really good, solid, dependable players, but championship caliber players? And can ownership of the Devils put the right players on that team to help them break through here? And I believe Mafio and La Gringa Mas Latina are returning as owners. I don't know 100% sure. Don't 100% quote me on that, but they've been there from the beginning. If they are coming back, they have not won the championship. Will they be able to put the right parts around Hyro and Urbieta to get a championship out of them? Because those two players, they've been solid and they were good the last 2 seasons. Can they take the next step? Can they get the right players around them? Chemistry to break through. Next up, that brings us to the Renegades. They've locked down their Division 1, 2, and 3, top 3 players. And really, you guys, these are Go Cherry. Now, he did have a drop-off. 6-4, which is unexpected because last season he was 10-0 in singles. Really finished the season on a slump, going 1-3. So you're something like, he can't be doing that again, because I don't think that's going to happen again for Go Cherry. I don't think, are we seeing a downward trend for Go Cherry? No, I think it's going to pick up, but will he reach the highs of being 10-0? I don't know. He seems like a competitive dude, but has the league caught up to Go Cherry? That's something you might want to pay attention to, right? Arat's solid player, Goanaga, stepped up really big time as a Division 3. I think he was undefeated last season, possibly. I might need to confirm that he was undefeated, but solid season out of Goanaga for them. So they're looking for their 4, 5, and 6. So question is, again, who are they going to pair with them? They've traditionally had Joseph on their team a lot. I'm blanking in this moment if he was on their team last year. I don't think Jedden's ever been a Renegade, but he's one of the higher players. I don't think he's going to fall to them. If this team succeeds, it's going to be because Go Cherry, Rats, and Goanaga continue to step up and be dominant. Not because of who they put around them. It's the Renegades. Is Go Cherry literally, as a front quarter, is all over the place. So it's really, is Go Cherry going to step up and be the Go Cherry of past? We'll find out and see. And yes, Goanaga, undefeated, 5-0 last season, plus 21 point differential. Okay. Double stats, plus 40 overall with his 2 doubles teams. 50% win percentage with him and Arta, him and Ben, 8-4. right? Ben's been there, I think. He was who they locked down when they won the championship in the spring. They brought in Arta and Joseph, I think. So Ben's not going to – I don't think Ben's going to fall to them. They're going to be a different team, and we'll see what happens. And lastly, guys, we've got your Warriors here. Warriors came out of nowhere. I don't think a lot of people had them as winning the championship, but they did. Ray Lewis stepped up in ownership. Must have really motivated those guys. Did Douglas take a step? He's been touted as a higher player, but hasn't always panned out. It was a surprise when he was drafted number 1, but you can't argue with the result of being a champion there. 60% win percentage last season for Douglas, which is higher. He lost a lot 2 seasons ago when he was on the Devils. And again, he was a number 1 player for the Devils. They didn't even lock him down. So there's a trend. Devils don't lock down their Division 1 players. Douglas, Oleron. That's, I guess, part of the Devil culture there. So can Douglas continue to grow and improve? We'll see. He did have a mixed doubles result. Solid Douglas and Nicholas. One of the best teams last season. 11-3. Douglas and Julian, 4-8. Room to grow there. However, 4-8, they still had a positive +1 point differential, which tells you they lost a lot of close games. Warriors, I think they've got Manny there too. You cannot discount what Manny... Do you hear this, what I'm saying? You cannot discount what Manny brings to a team, the intangibles. The dude makes cestas. He knows his way around a cesta. He's crafty. He's a veteran. He coaches you up. You cannot measure what Manny brings to a team and a franchise. When you get a player like Manny, you don't let him go. And that is precisely what the Warriors have done. They've kept him. They've retained him. They didn't let him go. You cannot measure what that's going to do. Whoever they add at their 5 and 6, you know Manny's going to coach him up, and Manny's probably going to be paired with one of those players and help carry that team, because that's just what Manny does. Will the Warriors repeat? Here's the question that everybody is asking, right? Am I going to put Battle Court on alert and say the Warriors will become your first repeat champion? We've never, in 6 seasons of Battle Court, had repeat champions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one thing is for certain. I think the Warriors are going to be the same. They're going to be a top-level team, but they will not repeat as champions. I'm not ready to tell you who that champion is going to be that's going to knock them off and dethrone them. But it's not. Warriors aren't winning. Actually, you know what? Fine. I'm going to go step out on a limb. Talk myself into it right here. Nasty Nate's prediction pre-draft. We'll come out with a post-draft prediction here for you after. Pre-draft prediction. I've talked myself into this over the course of this podcast. Nasty Nate's pre-draft championship prediction, which I hold the right, reserve the right to change this after the draft. I think the Devils break through and become champions. And that's going to do it for us here on God Bless Jai Alai. That's the name of this podcast, not Clone Cartel mic'd up. God Bless Jai Alai. Have you blessed it yet today? Are you excited for the season? We're excited for the season. God bless Jai Alai. Go World Jai Alai League.